What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Realistic Career Mode. This is episode number 11. We start today's stuff by officially changing the position of Jerome Martel. This is our young French holding mid in the academy, and at 6'3" with good defensive stats, to me, he looks like he'd be a solid ball-playing defender in this team. So I changed position, I promoted him to the first team, and for the first time in this save, we have a youth player with great potential. Yeah, shows great potential. I'll be honest here, I was slightly underwhelmed. I was hoping for exciting prospect to have on Jerome, but shows great potential. I'm not going to turn it down. I mentioned earlier in the save, I don't know why, but this FIFA, I do find it hard to pick up really good youth players on the regular, but I guess that's a good thing because it is more realistic. But he does look pretty decent. I've given a defensive centre-back development plan that will train the low acceleration, which definitely needs working on, and also change the defensive work rate from medium to high. I love low-high work rates on centre-back, so that's what Jerome is going to be once I've given him the defensive work rate, the defensive centre-back development plan. And I also decided to hand him his debut in the first game of today's episode, because that's just one win in our last 9 in the Premier League. It's been a struggling patch of form. Haven't kept a clean sheet in the Premier League since December. I was thinking, okay, alright, we've got Norwich here, down the bottom of the table, struggling to keep their heads above water. This has got to be my return to winning ways. So I gave Martel his debut, taking on the Canaries, and I thought, okay, got to be on my game here. Got to make sure I get the win, because it might be a while before I get another one. So, yeah, taking on Norwich from the very first whistle, I was in attack mode. In the first 8 minutes, Armando Broja hits the woodwork as we were still tied. But it was one of those games where I felt very confident heading into it. You know, I really believed this would be the game where I'd end my poor run of form and finally return to winning ways. And I knew, with the chances I'll be able to create, I just needed to take one of them. I felt strong at the back in this game. I felt sure I'll be able to keep the clean sheet, even with the teenager Martel in my back line for the first time ever. And after Che Adams gave us the lead, nice little build up with his fourth goal of the season in 18 games. 15 minutes in, we had the lead, and I was thinking, don't sit on this. Keep on attacking and go for a second goal, because you know in this year's FIFA, like, it's goal glut most of the time. And I'm also a really poor defender. I hold my hands up and admit that. So I thought, if I try and hold on to a 1-goal lead, I'll surrender it and I'll really get in my head. So just keep on attacking and looking for better chances. Soon afterwards, Ritsu was denied his third goal in 4, as we were still only up by a goal. But the second goal was definitely coming. Half an hour in, Che Adams almost bagging his brace, smacking the woodwork. And I was thinking, surely I'm going to find a second goal, unlike the one I couldn't get against Everton so recently in that 1-1 draw. Surely I'll find myself the goal to get a cushion and surely see the game out from there. With 4 minutes to go before the break, as Diego finds Armstrong. Quick little ball into Broja. Nice little ball back out wide towards Stuart Armstrong with Max Aarons to beat. Skips around the right back into Broja. Offloads to Diego. Nice football as Adams offloads toward Prowse. And oh, what a lovely team goal that was. I talked about it. It's so hard to score team goals in FIFA. You know, it genuinely is, because of the way the game is played and the fact it's so pace orientated. But when you can score a goal where you have practically every single member of your outfield players touching the ball, it just looks so cool, and it feels so cool as well. JWP, the skipper, gets our second goal right before the break, and it was all smiles on the south coast. We headed into the dressing room. 12 minutes to go, though, in a poor second half. We did see some bad news. Tino Livramento going up to head away a corner, goes down, stays down, eventually would soldier on, but a little bit fearful there, seeing Livramento go down. Haven't had too many injuries this season, but that could be a big one for our young fullback in from Chelsea this season. But it was okay, because from the break, we came on the counter, and well, you know what, like, sometimes when you're in bad form, you just need a little bit of luck. It's safe to say we got it for our third goal. Stuart Armstrong going through one-on-one. Tries to be Angus Gunn, former Saint at the near post. Saved, shot ricochets off the defender and into the back of the net. Yep, I will take it. Didn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. We're going to win the game anyway, but that did put the icing on the cake, if you will. 3-0, the final score. And yes, as the interviewer asks me in the post-match interview, it has been a disappointing run, but now we are hopefully back on track and we can kick on from here. And thankfully, the good news too, we're seeing that Livramento's injury was just a bruised shoulder as well. So thank goodness for that. One of our best young prospects here. I don't want to see his development halted by injury. So big win there. Up to 35 points. There is still an outside shot of qualifying for Europe. We're now 16 points off 18th place. We're not going to go down now. I mean, I'm saying that, touch wood, fingers crossed. I don't think we're going to go down now. I'm pretty sure we're not going to get dragged into a relegation scrap. But Europe is still an outside possibility. We've got just over 10 games to go. I think the gap is 10 on 7th place, which will give you Europa Conference League. There is still a chance, but I'm trying not to think about it too much. I feel like when I start putting the pressure on myself, that's when I begin to struggle. So I'm going to downplay this right now and say, yeah, big win, back on track, just our second win in 10 games, but let's not think about climbing up the table rapidly and finishing in the top 7. Let's just cement mid-table and make sure we're safe first and foremost. Still, following the win, as you can see, we had a scouting update, academy update. The academy's got some decent players in there, but no star standouts so far, if you will. As we enter the first game of March, this would be one of the biggest of the season so far. FA Cup, last 16, St Mary's, our first test against Premier League opposition. And it's the holders as well. Leicester City, of course, won it last season. Now taking them on at St Mary's. We got through 2 League One sides. Now taking on the champions of this competition. How would we get on after our win over Norwich on the weekend? Well, in a very poor first half with very little going on, with 2 minutes on the clock before the break, this guy has been the cup killer so far for the Saints. He is the top scorer in the FA Cup with his 4th goal now in 3 games. Armando Broja. He had a slow start to the season. I'm the first to admit it. Took a while to scratch for the first time, but since then, he has been one of our best players this season. And I've talked about it so many times, and I'll talk about it again. Next season, Chelsea, financial sanctions. Do they want to cash in on some of their players? Obviously, the Saints signed Tino Livramento from Chelsea for this season. Maybe we could do the same with Armando Broja as well. I'll definitely be meeting with Thomas Tuchel regardless of what happens in the summer. Anyway, from kickoff after Leicester surrendered possession, talk about a double whammy. Yeah, gave the ball away from kickoff, and I was thinking we're not going to get time for another chance, but we did. Worked our way forward quickly, and Joe Aribo gets his second in 2 in the cup to make it 2-0 as we doubled our lead right before the break. And it was such an interesting game, this one, because there were 3 goals, because with 25 minutes to go, the vet Jamie Vardy puts Leicester back in the game and halves the deficit, but there weren't actually that many chances. It's just that every chance there was on the pitch resulted in a goal, and with 9 minutes to go, still up by 1, I was thinking, do you know what, just get another chance, they'll find the back of the net. 'Cause at the moment, these goalkeepers, they've left their gloves at home. I mean, it's ridiculous. Every single shot is finding the back of the net. Our 8 minutes on the clock, a great piece of dribbling by Kane Lewis Potter, rolls through James Ward-Prowse, and the captain restores our 2-goal cushion, gives us our 3rd, and wraps it up with 7 minutes to go. Final score on the South Coast, Southampton 3, FA Cup holders Leicester 1, and we have dumped out the holders and we are into the quarterfinals. And it's so funny because, again, I mentioned it a moment ago there, every single shot was a goal in this game. Every single chance resulted in a shot, and every single shot resulted in a goal. One of those rare games of FIFA, but even so, we get the win. We are through to the quarterfinals. There were a couple of championship sides still remaining. So as I got done with my post-match interview, and I'd find out who we've got in the last day of the FA Cup, Southampton will be taking on, and I have my fingers crossed for my boys Millwall. Well, you'll find out we've got in the last day of the FA Cup. It's not Millwall. It's not Watford. It's not Burnley. It's not Ipswich. It's Manchester City. No! No! Manchester City. And I have to say, the 4 teams above us that have been drawn there is another tasty tie, Chelsea versus Spurs. I would have fancied my chances against all of them. Watford, obviously I really want Millwall as well. I think we could have beaten any of those teams there, but Manchester City, Chelsea and Spurs, those were the teams I was hoping to avoid. But we got Pep Guardiola's side at the Etihad in the quarterfinals, and I think our progress is going to end there. The only positive is knowing after back-to-back victories for the first time in God knows how long, I've lost count, we did actually get a draw at the Etihad at the start of the season. If you remember, it was match day 4, I think it was, and we had a really credible 0-0, but we snuck away with it courtesy of some Sam Johnston brilliant saves. That's the only thing that gives me a slight bit of confidence, but really we're going to be massive underdogs heading into that game there, and I think our progress will end. And I'm so gutted as well because we got through the 2 League One sides pretty comfortably, then dumping out the holders, very impressive, and I was thinking, okay, alright, we're 90 minutes away from Wembley, and I'd love that in the first season, a trip to Wembley, getting to the semis, that would be incredible, but I'll give it my best shot, I'll give it my all, but I really don't fancy my chances there, taking on one of the best sides in the country, Pep Guardiola's Manchester City away. yeah, we'll be massive underdogs for that one. So for the third and final game of today's episode, Steven Gerrard's Aston Villa on the weekend away at Villa Park, aiming to make it 3 straight wins in all competitions for the first time all season long, possibly? Well, heading into the game, even so, we had a brilliant start. Armando Broja gave us the lead, and then right after the restart, Che Adams got goal number 5 for the season in the league to put us 2-0 up, and I was thinking, okay, alright, 2-0 lead at Villa Park. Don't let this slip now. But Steven Gerrard's side right now chasing Champions League football this season, having a fantastic campaign, would battle back. They found their leveller, and with 8 minutes to go, Ollie Watkins bangs in their second as Villa come back from 2 goals down to make it 2-2, and I was thinking, okay, do you know what? Any chance of us making Europe hinged on this result, I feel. Any chance of us qualifying for a European competition depended on this result, with Aston Villa right now in 5th. But in stoppage time, one last chance to win the game, and Memi Martinez gives Aston Villa the point. Oh, what a save from the Argentine. Armando Broja storming through one-on-one, looking for his 3rd goal in 2. What a save by the former Arsenal goalkeeper. What a signing he's been, by the way, for Aston Villa. Absolutely brilliant shot stopper. 2-2 the final score, threw it away, no doubt about that. Should have had my 3rd straight win in all competitions, but from a 2-0 position, totally bottled it. 2-2 the final score, I should have won this game, no doubt about it. Absolutely bottled it in the second half. But in the grand scheme of things, it's not a bad result. Aston Villa are flying high. Steven Gerrard, we talked about him before, what a tremendous job he's doing with this Aston Villa side in their first season in the post-Grealish era. He's done a great job in real life, and he's doing a great job in the game. They're knocking on the door for a Champions League spot, 10 games to go. Only 2 points behind the Gunners in 4th. I would say now 9 points behind Chelsea in 7th place. 10 games remaining. It is still possible, but we're going to need to go on a really good, consistent run between now and the end of the season to make it. Otherwise, mid-table is where we'll finish. But that will end today's episode of the Realistic Career, guys. Big thank you for watching. Enjoyed it. If you haven't, please drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you for the next episode of the Realistic Career, featuring the FA Cup quarter-final away at the Etihad against Manchester City. Let's pull off a shot. Come on, boys. Very soon.